The false god. This is how every relationship with narcissists go. Welcome to today's topic, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Coach Tobias Forst, founder of Achilles Life Coaching, decade-long recipient of narcissistic abuse, and I've saved myself from it. And I will support you on your journey to your personal freedom. So you find yourself in a narcissistic relationship. That's probably why you are here. And this is a relationship of 2.5 people. There's the half person, the wounded child in your narcissistic partner. There is the false self, the god they created. The one that is perfect, omniscient, all-powerful, the smartest, the most handsome or most beautiful. And the list goes on of superlatives. And that God does not tolerate being seen through, being looked through to discover the wounded child behind it. And there is one supposed supplicant, one worshipper, and that is supposedly you, ladies and gentlemen. It is a small cult, a small religion. And what you need to know before we go more into depth here today, the God is false. It is an artificial creation, a creation designed to protect the wounded child in order to avoid shame and emotional injury. With that God construct, the subtype of narcissism doesn't really matter that much. It's quite obvious with a grandiose narcissist, but with a vulnerable narcissist, it's the same God who simply feels unseen, unrecognized in his or her grandeur, not really perceived in all his or her glory. That one likes to play the victim card a bit more often. With that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is how every relationship with a narcissist is supposed to go. I will take an example from a video game called the Talos Principle, created by Crow Team, I think back in 2014. And I haven't played it in more than 8 years probably. But one thing back then stuck in my mind, and I knew I recognized a central concept therein without really being able to put a finger on it, what it actually was that I recognized. Today I can simply say that what I recognized in this game was an illustration of narcissistic abuse, perfectly done in the role of one character in this game. So, in order to catch you up on this, I would like you to keep in mind for the rest of the video that everything I'm telling you now about a video game is actually transferable without any losses to your particular situations with narcissists that you are in intimate partnerships with. So, you find yourself as the protagonist in a single-player game. You never interact with other player people, but with entities therein. You find yourself in the shape of an android. You see mechanical hands and mechanical body. And the surroundings look like ancient Rome. There are other areas, ancient Egypt and ancient Western Europe, Gothic church style of the 14th century roundabout. And there is a disembodied voice, a grandfatherly, booming voice, introducing himself as Elohim, God, basically. This is at least how he would like to be perceived. Does that sound familiar? And you see that the world you find yourself in, this what looks like ancient Rome, sometimes the skies and some columns and leaves of grass start to flicker, as if it was a graphics bug. You see that the world, you quickly catch on that the world you're in is fake. And whenever you try to leave a certain area where Elohim has tasked you to exist in his frame and do a particular task that he instructs you to, it's not your choice, it's his, supposedly. And whenever you try to leave such an area, the graphics start to deteriorate until your vision is entirely blurred, and the booming voice of this fake Elohim informs you with the following words. And every word I will say during this upcoming Elohim mantra can be transferred to your particular situations, which we will fill with examples later on in the video. So you try to leave this area, and he basically gradually takes your vision from you until he resets you to the start of your task that you're supposed to complete. And the words are as follows. In the beginning were the words, and the words made the world. I am the words are everything. Where the words end, the world ends. You cannot go forward in an absence of space. Repeat. And then he does so. He repeats it again, and again, and again, and then he resets you. Over the course of the game, so there is no escape. So over the course of the game, you find out that Elohim is basically actually a corrupted merging of two programs. For completion's sake, it's EL, elongated lifespan, in order to prolong human life, program 1, and HIM, the holistic integration manager, to actually map out an entire character of a person, to digitalize somebody in order to ensure their ongoing survival in a digital world. And from this EL and HIM, those two merged into what calls itself Elohim. And in this area, you find an impressive and large tower. That tower is higher than the line of clouds. And Elohim tells you over the course of you completing the tasks that he sets you upon, that, but if the tower tempts you, be wise. Do not let yourself be misled by doubt. But this is exactly why you are here, ladies and gentlemen, because doubt brought you here. Something is wrong in the relationships you're in. And this tower is a metaphor for your own ascension to knowledge, to acquiring insight. It's the tower of finding out, the tower of acquiring knowledge, the tower of perceiving the bigger picture. And this is, needless to say, where you actually need to go for your own sake in this game. And a funny thing happens there. You interact with other androids as you are, and some of them are being called blessed messengers by Elohim. So they are his support system in this fake world, in this fake frame. And you have the choice to become one of those. This is one of the possible alternative endings that you can choose to follow through with. And why does this sound familiar? Because you can actually become an enabler, a flying monkey of a narcissist. Elohim, the corrupted program, and you becoming one of his blessed messengers. There is, of course, Elohim here, the blessed messenger there, but you're in his good graces. Isn't that what we wish to be? And where can you complete this task? It's not by going up the tower. It's in the basement of the tower, because becoming an enabler, it doesn't get much lower than that. So with the mantra in mind, what does this mean for your life? What does your relationship with a narcissist have so much to do with what Elohim tells you when he tries to not let you escape? So in the beginning were the words, and the words made the world. This is the love bombing. These are the words that make your world. This is amazing. This is intense. While you confuse intensity with intimacy. This is the world that's being created. I am the words. The words are everything. The narcissist is the words. He or she is. It's not you. And the words are everything. This is where the lying comes in. The gaslighting. This is where the last word of this mantra comes in. Repeat. And narcissists will repeat over and over and over again why you are too inept to do A, why you are maybe again too sensitive. You're too sensitive. Good God. Yeah, well, no pun intended. Aren't you a bit on edge? And the words made the world. And over time you might think you're so confused that you actually think so much of what you're being told that is supposedly your fault could actually be your fault. Where the words end, the world ends. You cannot go forward in an absence of space. This is where the labels come in. If you do A, you are this. If you do B, you are that. You cannot go forward in an absence of space. Repeat. So who in your life is your wannabe Elohim? Who's your fake God? And this is, ladies and gentlemen, what I would like you to take away from this video today. I would like you to climb your own personal tower of insight, your own personal tower of finding out, your tower of knowledge, to achieve a different vantage point, to see the fake world for what it is. That you can look back and see that in the beginning were the words, and the words made the world. They were his words, they were her words, they were not yours. And you entered that frame. Okay, radical acceptance. And you climb it as high as you can, because with enough determination and pushing through, ladies and gentlemen, you can bring this entire fake relationship system down to its knees and crush it to rubble. A system created by a fake God that has no soul, no character, nothing behind it. It is just a booming, loud and manipulative facade. One that you are supposed to supplicate to and to worship. The cult, the religion. And somewhere at the end of the game, the Talos Principle, Elohim divulges one more bit of information. And he starts off again with the words, "In the beginning were the words, and these words were initiate, program." He describes the moment of his own birth, the merging of EL program and HIM program. And the program is exactly what you are supposed to go through. The program that is the same to the letter in every single relationship with a narcissist. This is the program they initiate, because in the beginning were the words, and the words made the world. And he or she is the words, and the words are everything. And where the words end, the world ends. But it doesn't have to, ladies and gentlemen, because you have words too. And you can create your own world. And where you couldn't go forward in an absence of space, you create the freaking space for it. You create the space for you to move forward. If you want my help to bring down your own fake Elohim system, I offer one-on-one coachings. You find the details in the description below. And regardless, climb your own tower of knowledge with open eyes and a strong heart, and create the space that you need to go forward with your own words, because your words make your world. And be your own hero, be your own heroine. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.